Alright, y'all, today I'm gonna be telling y'all about the first time I ever dunked. So, basically, my dad, he played basketball for 17 years overseas, professional, was a great player in the Hall of Fame in Italy. Has some played in like 17 different countries, if I'm not mistaken. I know Switzerland was one, Italy, Mexico, Poland, Greece, France, Spain. I'm missing a lot of them, but he can tell you guys. But he was a great player. So when he came back home, he would run these camps for all these kids. A lot of them were my friends. We were all athletes, and basically they had some of the camps. Well, the camp when I first dunked was at St. James, which is the church I attended. But they had the summer camps, and I have some of my cousins there, one of my friends. Just everybody was there. I feel like I guess it was a good competition, and everything. But we would sometimes at the end of the camp, we'd just be there playing around. And I remember I started, when you start feeling like, you jump higher. Cause I remember the first time I touched the net, I forget that one song where it's like, Mom, I touched the net. If you know what I'm talking about, oh my goodness, I can't think of the name of the song. But whenever I touched the net, I felt like, it was like a new person. I was like, oh my goodness, I just touched the net. I got bounced. So that's after that, that's when I was like, okay, I can, if I keep working, I'm gonna get to the rim soon. So basically with me, having a mini hoop, you can lower the rim and stuff at certain gyms. And me and my friends, we used to lower to 7 feet, 8 feet, 8.5, 7.5, play on the mini hoops that you hang in your rooms. So we used to be dunking all the time, just on the small mini hoops or the lower rims. So we already knew how to dunk, but not we just couldn't jump as high as 10 feet yet. So I remember at St. James when when you first start trying to dunk, you can't just immediately, go off one leg and just dunk it like that. When you first started dunking, the easiest way is for somebody to throw you a lob, or for you to throw a lob yourself and go catch it and dunk it. So I just kept doing it. I might have failed probably a lot of times, probably 500 times, because you gotta fail eventually to succeed. So I just kept trying. And one day at St. James, I remember I threw it and I dunked it and it went in. I was like, oh, it's up now. So ever since then, especially when I was that age, I would just always practice doing that. Just throw a lob, dunk it. And then then you just keep seeing as time progresses, when I was at that stage of my life, okay, it was easier this time. I didn't have to jump as high when I did the same dunk, or now I can do it off a dribble, maybe 6 months later or something. But what I would advise you to do if you're trying to learn how to dunk is to keep trying. Whether it's a tennis ball, a volleyball, or a girl-sized ball versus a male-sized ball, you just have to keep trying. Because once you get the tennis ball, you're okay, I'm close. Then you can move up to a volleyball. Okay, that's another step, and you just keep evolving. But a lot of that also came with a lot of strenuous, very hard workouts that I was put throughout my lifetime with my dad, with multiple trainers, with various different trainers, with football, baseball. I played a lot of sports growing up, and my dad, he's a very good athlete. So he always made sure I had good training and was doing something to help me become the best athlete as well. So when I was at the camps, all the campers, we used to do I think defensive stance and sit like this, and our legs would be burning. Sometimes people crying because we would have to do it for punishment if we did something wrong. And even though I did not appreciate it in those times at all, I'm not saying I would want to do it again. But I think stuff like that helped me get my balance, especially when I started working with certain track coaches, doing those quick twitch movements. And Thomas McCants at his gym, he was just putting me through the band work, different band work, quick twitch drills, teaching me how to jump. There's a technique to jumping. I haven't perfected it, but if you watch the triple jumpers, the people in the Olympics, they know how to jump. That's how they jump so high. Like there's a technique to it. And I felt a difference because we actually measured one time when he told me like to drive my knee up and stuff like that. But all that to say is, when it comes to jumping and dunking, you have to keep trying, but you also have to put in the work to increase your balance if you want to. You know, obviously there has to be some level of, you know, giftedness that you receive from God, but you can also control what type of training you do. So for me, what I would say worked the best was that track training, that bearing work with Coach Mechanics, the Vertimax as well. I used to do that with Coach Mark sometimes, the Vertimax. It's tiring, but you're going to see a difference. And if you notice the Vertimax, all that stuff is that band work, you know, that resistance. And what else worked for me? I'll never forget this moment. I don't know why, but I'll never forget this, I swear. I used to train with Coach Ray, Mr. Shut Up and Train, at his crib, and he would like have us doing like all types of different workouts. I'll never forget when I did Bulgarian split squats, that's what they're called. Now, I've always been, like, growing up, I've always been a 2-foot jumper. And I still say I'm a 2-foot jumper. I can do both, but I think I'm a 2-foot jumper. But I do both. But anyways, I did Bulgarian split squats. And then, so I went from school, I worked out with him. Now I went to Game Elite, my AU team practice. And we used to do this drill almost like every time we practiced. It would be like half of the players on one side of the court, half on the other side, starting in the corner. And y'all go dribble full court, get to the cone, do a move, finish. And we would do like probably 6-7 different moves and just keep doing it. And just change the move each time. And I remember after I left one time doing those Bulgarian split squats, I did a move, I jumped off 1 foot, I went like this, and I dunked it. And like, I was like so shocked. Cause like I had never jumped that high off 1 foot. And I was like, yo. And so after I did it that time, of course, I'm like, I need to try this again. So the next time when I went to the other side, I did it again. I was like, it was as, like, I've never ever experienced in my lifetime when I did something and saw the results that soon with something. Because, you know, it's rare for it to just, you to feel it like that. But obviously it wasn't like the first time I did Bulgarian split squats, but it might have been like the second, third, fourth time, but I really felt it. And I was like, I was just shocked. I was like, yo, I need to keep training with him because like I felt my bounce like go up, like for real. So that was an experience as well, when just another dunking experience, you know, as far as what drills helped me. But there are a lot of different things, you know, that can help. Calf raises, there's a lot of different things. If you guys want more, just let me know. I can make another video, be more specific. But that was just a story time, honestly. When I first dunked, I remember like, well, first when I first touched the net, and I just kept playing that song. And I don't know what I was listening to back then, but probably had some headphones, some beats. I was like, Mom, I touched the net. This is the best day of my life. That song. I can't sing, but that song. So when I touched the net, that was like, yo, I'm close. Even though I still got a little bit to go. Then when I first dunked, I'm like, uh-oh. Like, I'm getting there. And then I remember that day, I was probably, what grade was I in? Maybe freshman or sophomore year of high school. I played Game Elite, yeah. I just remember when I did that, like, I was like, yo, I can jump now. And that's when, like, ever since then, like, I have done a lot of sand work. Sand work is really good as well, because it's not as much pounding on your knees. But, yeah, so there's a lot of good things to know. I would love to give you guys any advice if you want to know some drills you would want to do or anything, because with anything you got to put in the time and the work to achieve great results. So, but I'm thankful for all the coaches that have helped me throughout this process as far as training, whether it's basketball training, weights training, strength and conditioning, agility, speed. I work with some really good coaches thanks to my dad putting me in front of them. So I do appreciate all of them, for real. So there are a lot of good trainers, and there are a lot of bad trainers as well. So you have to be able to decipher. You know, you don't want to just be doing something that somebody says is good and it's nothing you're never going to do in the game. it's like it's not going to actually help you become a better player, you know. So, but other than that, hope y'all enjoyed story time. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. You know, check in with your boy.